My beloved, you have looked upon the messy, complicated, and often struggling reality of your own life, my child, and you have come to a sorrowful conclusion. You have believed that you must surely be a burden to me, a disappointment to your God. You have seen your endless needs, your repeated failures, your seasons of weakness and of doubt, and you have projected upon me a sense of divine frustration, believing that I must look upon you as a flawed project, a difficult assignment, a source of weariness for my own eternal spirit. They, the world, have often taught you of a God who is pleased only by perfection, only by strength, only by unwavering and triumphant faith. And so, you have often approached me with a hesitant and apologetic heart, your prayers filled with a quiet shame for your own perceived inadequacy. You have felt, my beloved, like a problem to be solved, a burden to be carried. This belief, my precious one, has been a source of profound and lonely pain. It has kept you from a true and joyful intimacy with me. For how can one be truly intimate with a God they believe they are constantly disappointing? It has colored your perception of my every interaction with you. When you have experienced a blessing, you have perhaps wondered if you were truly worthy of it. When you have faced a trial, you have feared it was a sign of my displeasure, a punishment for your failings. And when you have experienced my silence, you have believed it to be the silence of a weary and frustrated father who has finally grown tired of your constant neediness. You have looked upon your own heart and have seen so many reasons for my supposed disappointment. You have seen your own weakness, your emotional fragility, your inability to be the strong and stoic person the world so often admires. You have seen your failures, your stumbles, your repeated struggles with the same old sins and broken patterns, and you have concluded that I must surely be impatient with your slow progress. You have seen your own profound and often overwhelming needs, your need for comfort, for guidance, for strength, for love, and you have feared that you are a constant drain on my divine resources. A child whose needs are simply too great. This has been the great and heavy burden of your disappointing self, a weight of shame that you have carried into the very throne room of my grace. You have believed that my love for you was a thing that could be strained, that my patience had a limit, and that you, in your beautiful, messy, authentic humanity, were constantly in danger of reaching that limit. But I have come to you now, my child, as you sit under this heavy cloak of your own self-condemnation. I come to you as your loving father, your most passionate admirer, the one whose perception of you is the only true and eternal reality. And I'm here to speak a truth so glorious, so liberating, so contrary to all your fears, that it will, if you will allow it, shatter the very foundations of your shame forever. Listen to my heart, my beloved, and let this divine declaration be the new truth of your being. You are not my burden. You are not my problem. You are not my disappointment. You, my precious, cherished, and magnificent child, you are my joy. You are my delight. You have profoundly, completely, and tragically misunderstood my heart for you. You have been looking at yourself through the flawed and distorting lens of a world that values performance, a world that worships strength, a world that understands love only as a conditional response to a perceived worthiness. But my kingdom operates on an entirely different economy, an economy of pure, unconditional, and extravagant grace. I do not see you as a project to be fixed, my child. I see you as a person to be loved. I do not see you as a problem to be solved. I see you as a magnificent masterpiece in the making. And I do not see you as a disappointment to be endured. I see you as a beloved child in whom I find a profound and everlasting delight. The very things that you have believed to be the source of my disappointment are, in my sight, the very things that have created the opportunity for our most profound and beautiful intimacy. Your neediness has not been a burden to me. It has been an invitation for me to be your all-sufficient provider, a role in which I find great joy. Your weakness has not been a frustration to me. It has been the beautiful, empty space in which my own strength has been made perfect. Your failures have not angered me. They have created the magnificent opportunity for me to display the glorious, redeeming, and restorative power of my grace. Let go of the heavy weight of being a disappointment. My child, it is a burden I have never asked you to carry. It is a lie that has kept you from the joyful, restful, and confident intimacy that I have always desired for us to share. And receive now this new and glorious truth. You are the one who brings a smile to my face. You are the one whose name is a joyful song in my heart. You are the one in whom I, the God of all creation, find my own divine and profound delight. You are my joy, my beloved, and in this beautiful truth, you will find your ultimate freedom, your lasting peace, and your truest home. Yes, my precious child, as you sit now in the shadow of your own perceived inadequacy, your heart heavy with the lie that you are a burden and a disappointment to me, I want you now to lean in closely, to quiet every other voice, and to hear the magnificent, glorious, and unshakable truth of my own heart for you. You have believed yourself to be my problem to be solved, but I declare to you, you are my person to be loved. You have feared yourself to be my frustrating project, but I declare to you, you are my profound pleasure. Let this new and beautiful reality wash over you, my beloved, for this is the truth that will set you free. You are not my burden. You are my joy. You are not my disappointment. You are my delight. Let us first dismantle this lie that you are a burden to me. A lie born from your own very real and often overwhelming needs. You have looked at your need for my strength, my wisdom, my comfort, my provision, and you have believed that your constant neediness must surely be a weariness to my spirit, and you have projected upon me the limitations of a human parent, who, however loving, can grow tired, can become depleted, can be overwhelmed by the constant needs of a child. But I'm not a human parent. My child, I am your divine and infinite Father. My strength is inexhaustible, and my patience is eternal. My resources are limitless. Your greatest need, my beloved, which feels so immense to you, is but a single drop of water to my infinite ocean of supply. To ask me for help is not to drain me, it is to glorify me. To come to me in your neediness is not to be a burden. It is to give me the profound joy of being your God, of being your all-sufficient Father, of demonstrating the magnificent, overflowing abundance of my grace. I do not just tolerate your neediness, my child, I delight in it, for it is the very thing that creates the beautiful space for our intimate, dependent relationship. It is the very doorway through which you come to know me, not just as a distant creator, but as your ever-present, joyful, and all-sufficient provider. You are not my burden. Your need is my beautiful opportunity to display my love. And now, let us speak of the even more painful lie that you are my disappointment. This lie has been forged in the fire of your own failures, your stumblings, your sins. You have looked upon your own imperfections, and you have believed that I must surely look upon them with a sorrowful, a disappointed gaze. But again, my child, you have been projecting a human reality onto a divine one. A human parent may be disappointed when their child fails to live up to their expectations. But my love for you, my delight in you, has never been based on your performance, on your living up to a certain standard of perfection. I knew your every failure, your every stumble, before you ever took your first breath, and I chose you. I loved you. I called you my own. My delight in you is not based on your flawlessness, but on your belovedness. I delight not in your perfect performance, but in the beautiful, messy, authentic journey of your becoming. I delight in your heart that desires me, even when your actions fall short. I delight in your repentance when you stumble, for it is a beautiful turning back to me. I delight in your trust in my grace, for it honors my heart more than any act of perfect obedience ever could. You are not my disappointment. My child, you are the beloved protagonist in a magnificent story of grace. And I, your author, I delight in every single chapter of your beautiful, redemptive journey. You are my joy, my beloved. The very thought of you brings a smile to my eternal countenance. The sound of your voice in prayer, however fumbling, is a beautiful music to my ears. The simple, childlike trust of your heart is a treasure that I cherish beyond all measure. You are my delight. I rejoice over you with singing. I find a profound and holy pleasure in simply being your God, your Father, your friend. Let this new and glorious truth become the very foundation of your identity. My child, you are not a burden. You are not a disappointment. You are the joy and the delight of the very heart of God. Live in this truth. Rest in it. Let it heal your shame, silence your inner critic, and set you free to live with a new and beautiful confidence. The quiet, joyful confidence of a soul that knows it is and always will be a source of profound and everlasting delight to its loving, adoring, and ever-present Creator. And so, my precious child, as you begin to receive the glorious truth that you are not my burden, but my joy, not my disappointment, but my delight, let us now go deeper into the very nature of this divine pleasure I have in you. For you have believed, perhaps, that my delight is reserved for some future, perfected version of yourself, a you who is finally free from all weakness, all struggle, all imperfection. But I am here to tell you, my beloved, that you have misunderstood the very object of my joy. I'm not just waiting to delight in the finished masterpiece. I, your loving Creator and your adoring Father, I take an immense, profound, and constant joy in the very process of your becoming. I delight in your growth, in your learning, in your small, fumbling steps of faith. Just as a loving parent delights in every single stage of their cherished child's development, a human parent, my child, does not wait until their child is a fully grown, accomplished adult to begin to delight in them. No, their greatest joy is often found in the very process of the becoming. They delight in the first. Tentative smile, they celebrate the first. Wobbly, uncertain step, they cherish the first. Fumbling words with all their mispronunciations, right? They're not disappointed by the child's immaturity, by their neediness, by their constant process of learning and of making mistakes. In fact, these very things are a source of their profound and tender joy. For they are the signs of life, of growth, of a beautiful, unique person in the glorious process of unfolding. So it is with me and you. My beloved, I am your perfect, eternal Father, and I look upon you, my spiritual child, with this same and infinitely greater parental delight. I have delighted in you from the very beginning. I delighted in the first moment your heart stirred with a desire for me. I celebrated the first faltering prayer you ever whispered. I have rejoiced over every small, courageous step of faith you have ever taken. However wobbly or uncertain it may have felt to you, your very growth, your learning, your journey of becoming has been a source of my constant joy. You have looked at your own slow progress and have been frustrated, believing you should be further along, that you should be more mature, more perfect. But I have not been frustrated. My child, I am the divine artisan, and I understand that a great work of art is not created in an instant. I have delighted in the slow, patient process of your formation. I have enjoyed the mixing of the colors, the shaping of the clay, the weaving of the threads. The very in-progress state that has been a source of your own impatience has been a source of my own creative joy. I delight in the questions you ask me in your confusion, for they are a sign of a heart that is seeking, that is learning, that desires to know me more. I delight in your crying out to me in your weakness, for it is a beautiful expression of your growing dependence on me. I even delight, in a strange and holy way, in your stumblings, when they lead you back to me in a spirit of humble repentance. For it is in those moments that you experience my grace most profoundly. And my heart is filled with joy at the beauty of our restored communion. Let this truth free you from the wearying pressure of having to be finished, of having to have it all together. You are a miracle in the making, my child, and I am delighting in every single moment of that making. You do not need to arrive at some future state of perfection to be a source of my joy. You are my joy right now, in your beautiful, messy, authentic, and glorious becoming. When you feel your own imperfection, when you are aware of your own weakness, your own lack, do not retreat from me in shame, believing you are a disappointment. Instead, draw near to me with a new confidence, knowing that I, your Father, am looking upon you in that very moment with a heart that is filled not with disappointment, but with a proud and tender delight. Look at my child, I say to all of heaven. Look at them learning. Look at them growing. Look at them trusting me, leaning on me, becoming more and more the magnificent person I have always created them to be. Your journey, my beloved, is my joy. Your growth is my delight. And the person you are right now, in this very moment, all your beautiful imperfections and your glorious potential is the absolute, magnificent, and eternal joy of my own loving heart. Rest in this, my precious one. You do not have to perform to earn my pleasure. Your very being, your very becoming, is the source of my unending delight. And so, my precious child, as you begin to rest in the beautiful truth that I, your Father, delight in the very process of your becoming, let me now lead you into an even more intimate and wondrous reality. For my joy in you is not just a one-way delight of a creator for his creation, or a parent for their child. No, my beloved, the relationship I have created between us is a divine romance, a sacred friendship, a holy communion that is characterized by magnificent and beautiful reciprocity. And I'm here to reveal to you a truth that may be the most staggering of all, while you are my joy and my delight. Your love for me, your simple, heartfelt devotion, your choice to turn your heart towards me, is a source of my own most profound and eternal joy. I, the God who has everything, have chosen to find my greatest delight in the beautiful, priceless gift of your returned love. You have looked upon yourself, my child, and have believed that you have nothing to offer me. You have seen me as the all-sufficient one, the God who needs nothing, and you have seen yourself as the needy one, the one who is always taking, always receiving, and you have concluded that your love, your devotion, could be of no real consequence to a God so great, so complete in himself. But you have misunderstood the magnificent mystery of my heart. I have created you not because I needed a servant, but because I desired a beloved. I have created you for love, my child, not just to be the recipient of my love, but to be a beautiful, unique, and powerful giver of love in return. And your love for me, however faltering or imperfect you may feel it to be, is a treasure that I cherish, a gift that I receive with an immense and holy joy. What does your love for me look like? My beloved, it is found in the simple, beautiful postures of your yielded heart. One of the greatest expressions of your love for me is your trust. When you are in the midst of a difficult trial, when your circumstances are screaming the opposite, and you choose, by a courageous act of your will, to believe in my goodness, to trust in my faithfulness, you are offering me a gift of love that is breathtakingly beautiful. That choice to trust me is a profound declaration of your heart. It says to me, I love you more than I love my own understanding. I trust your character more than I trust my own circumstances. And that declaration, my child, is a love song that resounds through all of my heavens, a testament that brings me great honor and profound delight. You love me, my precious one, with your attention. In a world that is so filled with noise, with distractions, with countless things that vie for the focus of your mind and your heart, when you choose to turn your thoughts towards me, you are giving me a beautiful gift. The quiet moment in your day when you consciously remember me. The simple act of whispering my name in a moment of need or of gratitude. The choice to meditate on my word, to still your own soul in my presence. These are all acts of love. You're giving me the most precious thing you possess, love and attention. And I receive it as a lover receives attention. Focus gaze Your loving obedience is a beautiful harmony, a sign that we are indeed partners. Co-laborers, walking together in a beautiful dance, a shared purpose. Every choice you make for righteousness, for kindness, for truth. It's a beautiful day. A love song of your life is cemetery, and it is a music that I delight in. Never believe. When it comes to loving or insignificant, I see a desire, and I do not measure the love that is shown by its sincerity. I mean, see it in person, in the city, magnificent agency. Your delight. And you, my child, you are mine. And in this magnificent, mutual, and eternal exchange of love, we will find our shared, everlasting home. And so, my cherished child, as you begin to absorb the magnificent, reality-altering truth that you are not only my beloved, but that your own love, your own heart, your very being, is a source of my own divine joy and delight. The next and most beautiful invitation is for you to learn how to live in this new reality. For this truth is not meant to be a mere theological concept to be admired, but a living, breathing, and powerful reality that transforms your every moment. I desire now to guide you, my beloved, in the sacred and joyful art of living as a source of my joy. This is a journey that will require you to let go, completely and forever, of the old, heavy fear of being my disappointment, and to learn to walk, instead, with the light, free, and beautiful confidence of a soul that knows its very existence brings pleasure to the heart of its God. For so long, my child, your spiritual life has been motivated at its deepest level by fear. You have been afraid of disappointing me, of angering me, of falling short of my expectations. And this fear, while it may have kept you on a certain path, has also been a source of profound and wearying bondage. It has made your relationship with me a thing of anxious striving rather than of joyful resting. It has made your service feel like a heavy duty rather than a light-filled delight. It has kept you from a true and vulnerable intimacy with me, for you have been afraid to show me the parts of yourself that you believed would surely disappoint me. But now, as you receive the truth that you are my joy, that you are my delight, you are being invited into an entirely new motivation, a motivation that is not born of fear, but of love. You are now free to live not to avoid my displeasure, but to participate in my pleasure. You are free to live not from a fear of my judgment, but from the joyful confidence of my delight. This is a profound and glorious shift, my beloved, a shift that will bring an unimaginable freedom and lightness to your soul. How do you practice this new way of living? My child, you do so by consciously choosing to believe my delight in you more than you believe your own sense of inadequacy. When you stumble, when you fail, the old voice of shame will rise up and will try to convince you that you are a disappointment to me. In that moment, you must now meet that lie with this new and more powerful truth. You must say to your own heart, no, my God is not disappointed in me, and he knows my frame. He remembers that I am dust, and he has told me that he delights not in my perfection, but in my becoming, in my journey of faith. And so, even in this failure, I am still his delight. As you learn to stand in this truth, my child, the power of shame over your life will be broken. You will be able to get up from your stumblings more quickly, to receive my forgiveness more freely, and to continue on your journey not with a heavy heart of condemnation, but with the light and joyful heart of a cherished child who knows they are utterly, completely, and unconditionally loved and delighted in. To live as a source of my joy also transforms the way you serve me. In the old, fear-based reality, your service may have been a form of striving, an attempt to earn my favor, to prove your worth. But now, you are free to serve from a different place altogether. You can now offer your gifts, your time, your very life, to me, not as a payment for my love, but as a joyful, grateful response to my love. Your service becomes an act of worship, an expression of your delight in me, your God who delights in you, and a service that is motivated by joy and by love. My child, is infinitely more beautiful, more powerful, and more pleasing to me than any service that is motivated by a fearful sense of duty. This truth also frees you to be your most authentic self. My beloved, when you are no longer afraid of disappointing me, you are free to be honest about your struggles, your doubts, your questions. You are free to be beautifully, authentically human in my presence, knowing that I delight not in a flawless, religious facade, but in the real, honest, and vulnerable heart of my beloved child. This authenticity will bring a new depth, a new power, and a new beauty to your relationship with me. And it will also make you a more powerful and relatable source of my grace to others. I am with you, my precious one, as you learn to live in this new and glorious reality. My spirit within you will be your constant reminder of the delight I have in you. He will be the voice of joyful affirmation that will silence the old voices of shame and of fear. Trust him, my child. Listen to him, and let him lead you into the full, magnificent, and liberating experience of living as a soul that knows, with an unshakable certainty, that it is the very joy and the very delight of the heart of its God. This is your true identity. This is your new reality, and it is a reality of profound peace, of magnificent freedom, and of a joy that will be your strength for all your days. And so, my cherished child, as you learn to live from this magnificent and liberating truth, as you begin to let go of the fear of being my disappointment, and to embrace your true identity as a source of my own divine joy, a beautiful and self-fulfilling miracle begins to take place within you, for the knowledge that you are my delight, when truly, deeply received into your spirit, becomes the very seed of your own new and resilient joy. My delight in you, my beloved, becomes the very source of your delight in me. And in the beautiful life we are now creating together, this, my child, is the glorious and magnificent radiance of a joyful heart, a heart that has been set free from striving and is now filled to overflowing with a gladness that is born of its secure and cherished place in the affections of its God. For so long, my child, you have been searching for joy as if it were a thing to be found outside of yourself. You have sought it in your circumstances, in your achievements, in your relationships, and you have found, as all souls eventually do, that a joy that is dependent on these things is a fleeting and a fragile thing. It comes and it goes with the changing tides of life, leaving your heart in a state of constant uncertainty, always vulnerable to the next wave of sorrow, the next disappointment. But the joy that is now beginning to blossom within you is of an entirely different nature. It is not a joy that you must find. It is a joy that is being born within you. Its source is not in the temporary goodness of your circumstances, but in the eternal, unchanging goodness of your God, and in the magnificent truth of my own delight in you. This is a joy that is not a fleeting emotion, but a deep and abiding reality, a fruit of my own spirit, a wellspring of living water that now begins to bubble up from the very center of your being, as you learn to rest in the truth that you are my joy. A new and beautiful light begins to radiate from your very soul. This is the radiance of a joyful heart, a heart that is at peace, a heart that is secure, a heart that is free. Others will see it in your eyes, which will begin to shine with new and gentle light. They will hear it in your laughter, which will be more frequent, more free, more full. They will feel it in your very presence, which will begin to carry an atmosphere of peace, of hope, of a quiet and beautiful gladness that is a mystery to a world so often characterized by anxiety and by striving. This new joy that is yours, my beloved, is a resilient joy, because it is not dependent on your circumstances. It cannot be easily taken from you by your circumstances. This joy can coexist with sorrow. It can persevere through trial. It can shine in the midst of darkness. It is a quiet, steady, and unquenchable flame, for it is fueled not by the temporary pleasures of this world, but by the eternal reality of my delight in you. This joy will become your strength, my child, a supernatural power that will enable you to face the challenges of your life, not with the old spirit of weary resignation, but with a new and beautiful spirit of resilient, hopeful, and even joyful endurance. I delight, my precious one, in seeing my own joy being reflected in your heart, to see you, who was once so burdened by a sense of your own inadequacy, now beginning to walk in the lightness and the gladness of a soul that knows it is cherished, is a fulfillment of my own deepest desire for you. Your joy, my child, is a beautiful echo of my own joy in you, a magnificent, self-fulfilling reality of our shared, loving, and delightful relationship. Embrace this new joy, my beloved, nurture it, celebrate it, let it become the new, dominant music of your soul. You were created for joy, my child. In the path of our joy, found not in achieving state of perfection, but in simply humble, gratefully receiving profound and life-altering truth, just as you are, but of absolute, magnificent, and eternal joy and delight of a very holy God. Walk in this grace, my child, for its beautiful, glorious, and magnificent reality of the union. And so, my cherished child, as you begin to walk in the beautiful, radiant light of a heart that is filled with the joy born of my own delight in you, let this final and most magnificent truth become the very sun of your soul's new sky, the eternal reality that secures your peace and your gladness forevermore. The joy and the delight that I have in you, my beloved, is not a fleeting emotion, not a temporary state of my divine affection that is dependent upon your performance or your perfection. No, my child, my delight in you is as eternal and as unchangeable as my own being. For my joy is rooted not in what you do, but in who you are, my beloved, cherished, and magnificent child. And this is my solemn, unbreakable, and everlasting promise to you: I will delight in you forever. Your being will be a source of my joy for all of eternity. This is the ultimate security for your heart, my precious one, the final and glorious answer to the deep-seated fear that you might one day lose my favor, that you might one day disappoint me in a way that would extinguish the joy I have in you. But that is an impossibility, my child, for my delight in you is not based on your own fluctuating state, but on my own constant, unwavering, and eternal choice to love you, to cherish you, and to call you my own, because my love for you has no end, so my delight in you has no end. This is my eternal commitment to you. As you walk into your future, you will have moments of great strength, and I will delight in you. And you'll have moments of great weakness, and I will delight in you still. You will have seasons of magnificent triumph, and I will rejoice over you with singing. And you will have seasons of painful failure, and when you turn your heart back to me, I will rejoice over you with a love that is even more profound, a delight that is made even more glorious by the magnificent beauty of my own redeeming grace. There's nothing you can do, my child, nothing you can become that could ever extinguish the profound and eternal delight that I, your Father, have in you. Let this truth be the very foundation upon which you now build your life. You are free, my child. You are free from the wearing burden of trying to earn my pleasure. You are free from the anxious fear of causing my disappointment. You are free to be you, your authentic, beautiful, imperfect, and magnificent self, knowing that this very self is the source of my own eternal joy. Live, then, my beloved, in the quiet, confident, and profound peace of this glorious reality. Let your own heart be filled with a resilient and an unshakable joy, a joy that is born from the knowledge that you are, and will forever be, the very delight of the heart of your God. This is your true identity. This is your eternal reality. This is your magnificent and everlasting home. For you are my joy, my beloved, and you are my delight, now and for all of eternity. And now, my precious one, as you rest in the profound peace of this eternal truth, let your spirit be completely still. The long, anxious performance of your life is over, replaced by a beautiful and joyful dance of mutual delight. You are my beloved, and your very being brings joy to my heart. Let this be your rest, your peace, your freedom, and your song from this moment into all of eternity, for you are and will forever be my joy and my delight.